Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is War Hero the Superhero, helping military, veterans, and first responders transform their lives from the bedroom to the boardroom. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Faust. It's November again, right? And this is day 2 of our bedroom theme. And what do we start thinking about? We're getting closer to it. What are you thinking about? Let me tell you. It's the holidays, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas. I've already seen Christmas decorations next door across the street, and it's only November 4th. We literally got done election day yesterday. It's more like election month now because it's going to take so long. And we're already going over and thinking of the holidays. In 2020, no matter what we run into lately, our world has dramatically and drastically rebooted, and we can easily lean towards the negative. You hear the condescending, you hear the negativity, you hear the bitterness, you hear the ranting and the gossip and everything else. And what I want to go say about it is not on my watch. I'm just tired of it. So I want to go take negativity and bring it positive, but we have to start in the right place. So the theme this month, as you watch, if you watched this yesterday, or if this is your first time watching this episode, is being thankful. And what better place to start out is in the bedroom. If you never watched an episode of War Hero Superhero, we start everything in the bedroom. If you're not getting along with your spouse, if you can't go over and do things with your spouse, you can't work with your spouse, you're just kind of masking along in the living room, and then the same thing in the boardroom. And we kind of go in this life and we live and then we die. Why not live and thrive? And that's what our message here is for today. So we first need to clarify what's being thankful. We bring this up on a regular basis because we take a long time to learn things, me included. It takes an average person 6 or 7 times to take a song and go over and actually understand the words, because we usually sing it and then we realize, oh, wow, I didn't realize what that meant. And it's the same thing with definitions. We kind of socially get them, but do we really get them in our heart? Well, that's the goal here, is to get them from your mind to your heart, because when they both are working together, things are going over and thriving. So what being thankful is, from the Oxford Dictionary, which is my personal best dictionary in the world. I don't get paid royalties, but if you ever want to get them as a sponsor, I would love it. Is Oxford Dictionary goes over and says thankful is being pleased or relieved or expressing gratitude and relief. Doesn't that sound good compared to ranting and raving and negativity and gossip and everything else? But we need to understand how we do that. And we talked about it yesterday about how do we do that. We gave 10 different strategies to start going over and getting in the mindset, because if you don't understand your spouse, you really can't go over and get there. So today we're going to talk about how to apply it practically. But we got to know our spouse first to see gratitude and be thankful. And if you didn't watch yesterday's episode, I want you to go back to yesterday's and go listen to those 10 strategies. Because school's in session. If you didn't take notes, you need to go back to the prior lessons to go over and do that, because this is lesson 2 of the school in session. So you'll need to go back and watch the prior episode, because we go systematically as we go through this, because we want you to grow and we want you to go over and apply. So we're not going to go into 10 questions to ask yourself, because we did that yesterday. We're going to be like, now how do we go over and apply? And this is going to be really fast, really quick. This episode might be only like 5-10 minutes max, just because I want you to go over and take it, digest it, and go over and use it. There's no point of me going on 25 to 30 minutes if there's no application. And my goal is to have you go thrive from the bedroom, which we're in right now, to the boardroom. So here's 5 tactics that I started to go over and use. Some of them I've done for a long time. Some of them I'm starting right now. So I'm not the subject matter expert on everything, but I want you to go be a catalyst to get you to start and get myself to start. So let's go be catalysts and go over and prod each other forward to go over and being thankful and giving gratitude to our spouses. Because if we ain't applying it at home first, there's no point applying it at work, because the relationships get mixed. We want to make sure that we're clear, that we're thriving from bedroom to boardroom. So let's get into those 5 tactics. And again, this is always a dialogue. So if you're listening, thank you for listening, either on the Easy Way wall or on Facebook or on Pedopolo, which would be our dynamic podcasting app that you can go over and connect with sponsors and go over and win prizes and actually gamify your podcast. So number 1 is to list one thing each day you can tell your spouse that you're thankful for. We have 70,000 thoughts come in our mind today. Every day, 70,000 thoughts. The average man speaks 50,000 words. The average woman speaks 100,000 words. I speak about 150,000 words. So we need to take those thoughts, and let's just take one of those 70,000 thoughts and think of one thing each day that we can tell our spouse that we're thankful for. If you ever read Dr. Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages, it talks about words of affirmation. A lot of people in America are words of affirmation. Even though we're words of defamation, we're words of affirmation at the Long-Term Heart. This lady was married 35 years and wanted just 20 minutes on the couch, heart to heart, words of affirmation, conversation. It doesn't take that much if you just take one thought a day to go over and express that to your spouse. It might be in written, it might be in text, it might be in a love letter, it might be a different way, but if you start getting the mind to go over the process, then you'll start changing on how to go over and be thankful. That's our number one tactic to go over and apply. Number 2, celebrate a monthly anniversary. The guys are like, what the? I'm telling you, it's not as hard as this could be. If we go over and we struggle with the yearly anniversary, that's the only time we usually become thankful. And we put on our thankful post of everything that we go over and do and in our anniversary, and all the loves and the kisses and everything else. It's great for emojicons and everything else, but the anniversary is not for the world. The anniversary is for you two to celebrate your love and your thankfulness for one another. We've gone over and done 166 months in marriage, which is 13 years and 10 months. Yes, I do it. And I didn't start it until about year 7, but once I started it, it actually goes over and gets me to think of my wife more often. Either in tangible gifts and words of affirmation, physical touch, as we talked about. I think more about her personality style and as I'm going out. So I'd highly encourage you to go over and celebrate a monthly anniversary. If you need more tips, go read Leave No Marriage Behind, which is our first book, and you can go into that specific chapter. Unfortunately, I'm not remembering right now to go over and find out how to actually start the monthly anniversary, because I give more tips and strategies in there. Number 3, put it on the calendar. You know, we go over and put our appointments on there for our kids and doctor's appointments. My father-in-law has a doctor's appointment tomorrow and everything else. And we have a bunch of stuff at work and deadlines and everything else. And we remember those things and we do it as the best we can. Why not go make a thankful calendar that maybe reminds you on a weekly or daily or hourly or whatever really intense you want to go basis to go put it on your calendar, because usually those tasks get done. Yes, we can get overwhelmed and things can go over and forget. But if it's on the calendar, like I have one that I don't like that's been coming on my calendar for about 600 plus days that I'm hoping to accomplish in the next 90, but it makes me go remember. It becomes active, a part of me. Now that one, I want to go over and get off the calendar because it was good and then it turned bad, but I need to continually work on it. And that happens also with deadlines, when we want to get to goals and the dreams and websites and whatever. When we make that vision board or calendar reminder, we go over and do it. So why not put thankfulness to your spouse on your calendar? It breaks up your day. You're not focused in total chaos. It'll go over and probably re-engage and reignite the heart of who you're with and who you're going to be with after that 20-year military career or 20 to 30 years civilian GS employee or government contractor, or you're as a first responder, that your mind and your heart is in the right place and it gives and reinfuses you and reinvigorates you throughout the day. So why not put it on your calendar? Do it on your iPhone, do it on your Droid, do it on the computer, whatever works best. Maybe you're old school and you got paper and pen. Maybe you do a handy dandy notebook, whatever it is. Go over and put it on your calendar. Going from there, number 4, leave a thank you note or send a text. When we start taking actions and actually going out and breaking it out, it actually puts a lot more thought in there when we do that. Sending a text doesn't engage as much as the brain, but when we go over and write it down and put in a thankful note, and sometimes you might do a send out card, or you might go do a love pop card or whatever it is. But if you do it on a regular basis, it doesn't take much. We do it with our kids with Rice Krispie treats. You can even use a Rice Krispie treat to go send a love note, because it automatically has a spot on there. Go get yourself a marker and go over and do that. Whatever it is, go over and infuse that. Maybe it's sticky notes, maybe it's special paper you go over and buy, maybe it's in the person's notebook or whatever, and different things. Like I did that for the notes today. That's how I was able to give you these. This note, which you can't see because it's green. You can't see it, it's green, it's invisible. This is great. Whee! That when you use a thankful note that was in this, see, it's in here, see? exist. So when you go over and you do that on a regular basis, it starts going over and getting the mind to start going, and then to start the heart to go and go. So leave a thankful note, or go over and send a text. Maybe you need to put it in your calendar to go over and do that. You can take tip 3, tactic 3, and tactic 4 and merge it together. Put it on your calendar to leave a thankful note or to send a text. And the last one, because we said we only doing 5. So again, this is always a dialogue. So hopefully you guys have some. Is redeem your commute. Doesn't matter how far you go. Now, I live on the base, so it only takes me 5 minutes to drive. It takes me 10 to 15 minutes to bike, and it takes me about 20 to 25 minutes to go over and walk, depending on how well my back is doing that day. Why don't you redeem the commute and go listen to a podcast? And now for you guys and girls that are in uniform, if you're walking or you're biking, guess what? You can put it in our OCP pockets, which the majority of us are wearing now, and you can just put the volume on. See, you don't have the headphone issue because, you're not supposed to be wearing headphones. So blast your phone, put it in one of your shoulder pockets, or put it in your cargo pocket, or maybe go over and if you can't listen to a podcast, which I spelled a bit more letters, that's awesome, podcast. It's that powerful. Or go over and listen to some good music while you're driving on the way back, or get a workout. Workouts cause endorphins. It gives you that dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and epinephrine. And it's a natural dose, not the artificial one with this. Now, I condone, you're probably watching this on your phone, and it's probably giving you a dose. But the thing is, the long-term dose, not these short little shockers that go over and do, can go over and re-infuse your life. We averagely spend 3 weeks a year? This was pre-COVID, 3 weeks a year in the car. 168 times 3, that's roughly 500 plus hours of your rump driving back and forth, or walking, or biking. We have long commutes. I remember when I was in Seattle and I had an hour to 4 hours of commute. So why not take that time, since podcasting is huge and it's becoming the new digital revolution and whatnot, that in digital TV, listen to a podcast. You can go over and listen to this, audibly and whatnot. Just go pop it in the background and go listen to it. We'll eventually put this on RSS, on Podopolo, and it'll be audio and it will be video. So why not go listen to a podcast, go listen to some good music, or get a good workout before coming home, so you can start being thankful and start passing that along, either through putting it in your calendar, celebrating a month anniversary, getting those thoughts in there. Maybe that's the time to go over and do that. No matter what it is, these are some of the tactics. So short, sweet, and to the point. 12 minutes, well, probably about 14 max. So our superhero challenge for you today, no matter if you're watching this on Podopolo or the Easy Way Wall, or on Facebook or on YouTube, or wherever you go and like to listen to your podcast, we would love for you to share your tactic on our Facebook wall primarily, and YouTube comments. That's the 2 places that we get them most. Is share your tactics on how you infuse thankfulness in the bedroom. Maybe there's something that I didn't go over and think of. I'm only one human being going over and thinking about this all day. The collective whole of all of you can go over and reignite thankfulness past Thanksgiving and Christmas and make it through a year. My goal is to go over and get you guys to thrive, no matter where you're at, military, veteran, first responder. So we need to rewrite the script and not be so negative and learn to be thankful. So share your tactic on how you infuse thankfulness in the bedroom. So that is pretty much it for us. We want to thank you for going over and joining, no matter where you're watching at, live or in the replay. We'd love for you to put the live, comment if you're watching this live, if you watch us on the replay, because this is always a dialogue. And if you guys are struggling in the bedroom, going over and being thankful, we'd love to connect you to 20 minutes free for every single military, veteran, and first responder. And if you go over and you want to reignite it at a more deeper level, go to patreon.com, Thrive Not Survive. Go look at our Patreon and see what levels we have, from Marriage Superhero to Superhero Sanctum. And as low as $5 a month, you can start to supercharge your marriage. And that's our goal, is to help you to go over and thrive, no matter if it's listening asynchronous to us or getting involved synchronously, which one-on-one. So we want to thank you for your time. Tomorrow, we're going to discuss what blocks us from being thankful, what barriers, and what can we do with our heart, because it's not more of our head, it's usually our heart that's usually blocking that. So I'm going to do some deep research to go over and see what blocks us from thankfulness. And I'd love to hear it in the comments. It's not a superhero challenge today, but if you have that thought, I would love to go and do that. So I might do some engagement on Facebook to ask that question, to get your thoughts, to share that along. And I'll probably share some stories. So thank you for going over and joining. You guys have a good evening. We got done in 15 minutes. Wow. You can be done your workout and listen to this. And then you can be thankful. All right. You all have a good day. Let me see if I can find the mouse. Lives are crazy.